Hello, today I wanted to talk about budget guitars as I've been working a lot on them. Um, I noticed that I'm finding more and more of these online to purchase, and they're typically from people who I could see were beginner guitarists, hoping that they could learn to play, and then I guess gave up. Now, there's many reasons why someone would give up on their guitar journey. Most recently, we went through COVID. People were locked up in their house, and I'm sure a lot of them were inspired by other, like, online YouTube or maybe Instagram guitarists who made progress. They had dedication, and they made progress and inspired many other people to buy guitars. But there's a lot of reasons why I think people would give up. And I think it comes down to budget guitars and the quality of them, and why it's so important to kind of know how to set your guitar up. Yesterday, for only $50, I got this. Now, this is a cheap guitar. I bought one brand new in yellow from Guitar Center for about $175, $179, somewhere between $175 and $180. This I picked up for $50. It's, the Epiphone Les Paul SL Melody Maker style guitar, but it came as a whole kit, with the Epiphone strap, really cheap little Epiphone amp, and it came with the Epiphone gig bag, an Epiphone tuner. This was a whole kit for a beginner, and the kit I picked it up from, I could tell that this was something that he got to learn and he couldn't play, or maybe he did play, or maybe he got frustrated for various reasons. And I could tell when I got this guitar and brought it home what some of those reasons would be that he would have gotten frustrated. First of all, when I got it, the string height on it, the action of this tailstop bridge was so high. I have put it all the way down to the body, and still, even all the way down to the body with no neck adjustment, it's still a little high all the way down here on the 12th fret. The 12th fret, I mean, I can push and give has a lot of give without even touching the fret. Now that's fine. That's still playable now, now that I've lowered it. But the string height was really high when I got it, and that could be frustrating for a new player trying to, push down on their notes and their chords. That could really hurt someone's fingers. Also, the higher the string is and the more you have to push it down, the more that the intonation is off. You're not going to get the note that you're supposed to be getting because it's going to be really sharp. The intonation is going to be really off. So the other thing I did was, these aren't the best because there's only 2 adjustments for intonation. As you can see, it has these saddle pieces that are compensated for the strings, and then it has little Allen key screws here. You can get it close, and I have. And it's just by, adjusting how far the tailpiece sits, by how much you screw this little Allen key in that pushes up against the post. Or, unscrew it and has it sit into the post. But it's been something that's been a little sad to me lately, seeing how many of these cheap budget guitars that I'm picking up from people who I could tell wanted to learn how to play guitar, but the equipment that they were able to get probably discouraged them. So I think I'm going to start doing some videos about simple, maybe one long form video going over everything from the setup, from changing the strings, adjusting the neck relief to get a straight neck, adjusting the string height, and then finally intonation at the end. I think maybe I'll do that, and then maybe I'll do shorter videos about each individual process, just so no one's following my channel, but if it's out there, hopefully the right people will find it when they're looking, and that will be knowledge that they can use. To speak a little bit more about this guitar, I'm really happy with it now that I've put in, a couple hours of work. And even though the strings are still a little high, there's a few things I can do. One being, I could put this in an open G tuning and play it like an open G blues guitar with the strings a little high. That actually would work to my benefit if I wanted to play slide guitar. I'm not the best with a slide, but hey, I need a guitar that's an open G tuning that I could practice my slide guitar in. So that's one thing I could do. The other thing I could do if I just wanted to play the guitar like a normal guitar in standard E or whatever tuning, finger style, would be to take the neck off and maybe put a shim, but maybe like a business card, a little sliver of a business card that only goes right here behind the neck, so that it creates a little bit more of an angle on the neck to get the neck angle more in line with the string angle. So that's one way that I could further adjust this guitar to be a little bit more playable with lower string action. I put 10s on this yesterday when I got it. I'm thinking that 10s are playable, 10s are nice, but maybe if I was a new guitarist trying to play, I would throw on 9s or maybe even 8s just for comfortability of playing. And that allows for a lot more string bending without the effort of, hurting your fingers. So these are all options I could do to this guitar. I'm pretty pleased with it. It definitely needed work, but I was patient enough to do it and take this really cheap guitar into something that right now is playable. I mean, you could play this guitar. It's not too much, even when you're in the upper registers, to fret the notes. But there's more that could be done to it. And I'm really kind of sick and tired of seeing budget guitars discourage people from playing and learning. So if you are a new guitarist and you have a budget guitar and you're finding that guitar is hard to play, not just because learning your finger dexterity and getting your finger dexterity is hard, but maybe the guitar itself is providing you with resistance in your learning, I would suggest finding someone that knows how to do a setup. Guitar Center will do a setup for you, but they will charge you quite a bit of money. And I think it's totally unfair, because if you bought a new guitar from Guitar Center, I really wish that they would do a one-time setup for you when you buy a guitar. I know that maybe some mom and pop shops, if you buy a guitar from them, they might throw in, or you could negotiate, hey, I want to buy this guitar. Could you please do a setup for me and I'll buy the guitar? You could probably negotiate that with an independently owned guitar shop. Or find someone that knows what they're doing, or learn how to do it yourself. Learn about your guitar and learn how to adjust things to your comfortability level. That would probably be the best. Now, I know it might seem a little bit daunting of a task, but it's doable. I didn't know how to do a lot of these things through COVID, and to now, I learned how to do that. And we're in February of 2024 right now. And because I've been doing it on a lot of my guitars, I've put in the practice. I've watched enough videos. I've listened. I've read. I've taken the time and the patience to acquire this skill. I know patience is something that not a lot of people have these days, but take the time to learn, because the more that you know, the more you can do. Knowledge of whatever it is that you're doing provides confidence, and it will serve you in the end to know what you're doing on your own guitar. I know many guitars that I've been buying, these budget guitars, some of the reasons I have a feeling that they've been selling them, a lot of them have one broken string. Typically, it's the low or the high E. It's your first string, the E. And when that string breaks, they're just like, they put it in the corner. They never get around to getting new strings. They never probably learned how to change a string, because we were living in the era of everything being online and being stuck in your home. But learn how to change your strings. a lot of cheap budget guitars that I'm buying, the string is broken. That high E is broken. And I have a feeling that that's one of the reasons that people are just like, it's not worth it. I'm just going to give up, and I'm going to list my guitar for sale and give up and pursue other things. It was fun while it lasted. And it's sad to me, man. It's so sad to me. So learn what you're doing. I'm going to start making videos about my processes that are a little bit more in depth, not just, hey, this is what I'm doing, as far as like, I'm going to adjust the neck, but I'm going to show you how to adjust the neck, what you're looking for, how to properly change your strings, how to set your string height on different types of guitars, and your intonation on different types of guitars. So look forward to that. And other than that, this was a great deal. $50 for a whole kit. The amp's garbage, but for a beginner, it's enough to make some noise in their bedroom. And that's what got me started. I had a Squier Strat Pack back in 1998 with the little 15-watt amp, and all I did was, in my bedroom, crank up the gain so I could have a little bit of distortion and play the things that I like to play. And then on church on Sundays, I would play up with the worship band, more clean, of course. And I learned to play by doing rhythm, with all the worship music, chords, and things like that. So I would definitely, don't give up on guitar. Your cheap budget guitar can be fixed to be more playable. And from there, things can always be upgraded to sound better. You can always take a cheap guitar. You can replace the pickups later on. I think you don't need to replace pickups. Pickups are fine. I think later on, when you're trying to mold a sound, that all comes down to where you're setting your tone knob, what amp settings you have. Pickups are doing the same. They're just registering the strings. Some are more higher output, some are more lower output, but you don't really need to change the pickups. It's something fun that we like to do to mod a guitar. If you're just wanting to make your guitar more playable, that is a possibility. Don't give up on your guitars. Just find a way to make them better. I think I might also start trying to put my name out there somehow to help people get their guitars in playable conditions. I'm not going to charge as much as Guitar Center because I want to help people make their guitars better, and it'd be more of a side project for me, because I do have a full-time job. But I think that it's a service that a lot of people are unaware even exists, and a lot of people would find very useful. Whether it's parents who are trying to make their kids' beginner guitar more playable for them, maybe it's just time because of weather conditions, things might be out of whack because the guitar is made of wood, whatever the case may be. I think I'm going to start offering those services for a lower cost than, say, Guitar Center would, and opening up that little side business for me just for the enjoyment of tinkering. I am very much a tinkerer. I know how to tinker, and I know how to make a guitar sound and look awesome. And my skills with tinkering with guitars are far greater than my skill of playing guitar. I will be the first to admit. I neglected my guitar journey for many years, and was self-taught and did all the wrong things. And now I'm in my late 30s, and I'm suffering the consequences of that when I'm starting to take it more seriously, but that's fine. I'm still learning every day. I try to learn, I try to improve, I practice, but I definitely set myself back, and so I know how to do things tinkering wise on a guitar more than I actually can play a guitar. But yeah, let me know if videos on setups and upgrades and modifications that are a little bit more in depth is something that you'd want to see. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk.